message to the separatists and puncturing the propaganda of Pakistan. Sher Khan, who was once a convicted terrorist and had surrendered back in 2006, joined in the celebration and also hoisted the tricolour in Kishtwar. There was also a rally by the locals in Srinagar where they carried a 70-metre tricolour. Since the abrogation of the special status to Kashmir, repeated efforts have been made by the government to clamp down on the anti-India narrative and posturing by certain interest groups in Kashmir. Now, the celebration of the Republic Day at Lal Chowk at Srinagar is also symbolic of India's integrity, sovereignty, and the promise of reinstating greater peace and progress in the region. That's our top focus this hour. Well, we'll have a full panel and we'll take this story forward. The Naya Jammu and Kashmir story. How is it that greater peace and prosperity can be reinstated in the Jammu and Kashmir region? And more importantly, today's day and the manner in which the Republic Day was celebrated at none other than Lal Chowk in Srinagar. Tricolour was hoisted and without a curfew. That's clearly something that tells us about the changing times in the valley. We have SP Ved, who's a former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, joining us on the broadcast. Sir, good evening. Very happy Republic Day to you as well. Please tell us your thoughts when you see the kind of changes we are witnessing in Kashmir. The hoisting of tricolour at Lal Chowk in Srinagar is no small task, though it doesn't tell us anything in substance, but the symbolism of it cannot be ignored as well.
Happy Republic Day to you also. We have seen times in 1990s and 2000 when on Republic Day there used to be almost civil curfew all across Kashmir Valley and many districts of even hilly districts of Jammu.
Yeah.
And particularly Kashmir Valley, it used to be very a very lonely type of serene atmosphere when you are actually just anti of what you envy says of 26th January. It's basically a day of celebration when constitutional rights were given to every citizen, and every citizen of India should be celebrating that. And but unfortunately, due to terrorism, due to Pakistan-sponsored terrorism in Kashmir Valley and so much of, during 26th January and 15th August, the focus of Pakistan's deep state, the establishment used to have directions that at any cost, major incident must take place. So it used to be a sigh of relief that everything has gone without an incident. But today, that is not the case. You saw celebrations all across the state and particularly the Kashmir Valley with full attendance of people celebrating, people taking part and hoisting openly the national flag.
Yeah.
But you saw of Lal Chowk, which has a significant, its own significance other than all district headquarters and Tehsil headquarters, and without any civil curfew, without any restrictions, without any restriction on the movement of people, restriction on the movement of vehicles. So this actually clearly indicates how changing Naya Kashmir is coming. And
I also want to bring in that perspective, while not to negate the importance of hoisting the tricolour at Lal Chowk in Srinagar. When it comes to clamping down on terror elements within the valley, when it comes to the protection of minority communities in the valley, talking specifically about Kashmiri Pandits, these are some long-term issues that the government of the day has to address, and they're making their efforts in that direction. But In the last few years, ever since the abrogation of Article 370, doing away with the special status, what are the key changes in the narrative and more importantly in the posturing of various political parties from within the valley that you have seen and you think are important going forward?
See, the narrative and posturing of the political parties. The narrative today is pro-country, pro-nation, pro-peace, pro-development, pro-transparency, pro-honest administrations, against anything which creates disturbance in Kashmir Valley. So the narrative has changed. People are demanding that more and more such functions should be held in their areas. There was a time when people were scared of terrorist reprisal if any pro-India function is organized. Even hoisting of national flag needed to be done under a lot of protection because this would come and threaten that.
Absolutely.
Today it is no more situation. And as far as political narrative, political parties part is concerned, I think the Kashmir Valley parties still have that mindset that we will want a restoration of statehood. Obviously, that is a popular sentiment.
I want to take that point of political narrative and posturing to Mr. Ahmed Ayaz as well, who is a political analyst joining us on the broadcast. Good evening, Mr. Ayaz. Ever since the abrogation of Article 370, a new chapter has been opened in the history of Jammu and Kashmir. With the hoisting of the tricolour without any curfew in Srinagar at the Lal Chowk, that's an important symbol which we saw today on the Republic Day. How do you see today's day and moment, and more importantly, the change that we are witnessing in the politics of Kashmir?
No, basically, all those people who used to give the call of, hartal, or therefore the administration used to impose curfew. Almost all of them, either they are under house arrest, under their arrest, or they are jailed, or they have died, or the group, the stone pelters, they have been, they are not visible now. Those are certain things where we say, yes, those could be certain reasons which prevent there is nobody to give a call, and thereafter which warrants the position of curfew, and that could be one reason. And second is that there are some people who have been, who are now active, mostly connected with the BJP, who keep on, hoisting flags at Lal Chowk, Gantagar, etc., etc. Naturally, that gives a sense, that gives a different sense now. Earlier there was nobody to come forward and to come back and come to the Lal Chowk and to hoist the flag because of the sick care and the threat that of course is there. But that anyway doesn't mean that things are normalized. As you say that today someone that Sher Khan too has hoisted the flag.
Hoisted the flag,
and we cannot call it that things are so normalized. See, it's not that Sher Khan has hoisted the flag today or he has participated in this Republic celebration. Even before that, also there are many people who have joined them. National mainstream politics. They have been. They have elected. They were elected. They have contested elections. They have been ministers even. So that does not mean it can't be taken as a measure. It can't be taken as a yardstick to consider that things have so changed. Well, these are things happening in between.
Mr. Ayaz, I agree with you that this is not a complete yardstick, that this is some kind of change, but it does signal some kind of change that has begun. Sanju Verma, the BJP national spokesperson, is also joining us on the broadcast. Good evening, Sanju. A very happy Republic Day to you. A very important gesture to have that Tiranga rally, a 70-meter Tiranga that was carried across. You also had the national flag hoisting high at the Lal Chowk in Srinagar. Important moments, but Are these really substantial changes that have been made? We were talking about the larger law and order and the security situation within the valley. And yes, these are steps taken in the right direction, but so much more to be done.
I completely agree with you. First and foremost, a very happy Republic Day to you, Anusha, your audience, and of course the other panelists on the show. I think first and foremost, point number one, hoisting the Tiranga at Lal Chowk, in the heart of Srinagar. I think it's not mere symbolism. Don't forget that, the last time it was hoisted was way back in 1992 when the ex and the then president of BJP, Murli Manohar Joshi, carried out the Ekta Yatra. Yeah. And even then in 1992, the entire idea of Ekta Yatra was conceived and planned and put into action by Narendra Modi, who was at that time, General Karyakarta and not the powerful and, popular man that he is today. Also, I think most importantly, the fact that Sher Khan hoisted a Tiranga at Kishtwar, this is not a sole or an isolated incident. Don't forget that even last year in Doda, 4 militants hoisted the Tiranga. The reason I'm talking about this is to say that people who surrendered, because Doda, Avantipura, Kishtwar, Baramulla, these have been, hotbeds in terms of, terror attacks.
Yes.
The fact that terrorists or those who have now converted in terms of, giving up their arms and becoming a part of mainstream Jammu and Kashmir, the fact that today they are looking at, Kashmiriyat from the prism of a national identity and not from the prism of the Hindu-Muslim divide, which is what politicians for ages in the valley have been, sort of focusing on. I think that's a good start. And I also want to say that when we talk of Naya Kashmir, let me give you some hard numbers and I won't take long. The Modi government, because I got this data just before coming on your show, Anusha, in the year 2021-22, more than 30,000 youth, youngsters, including 12,000 girls, were provided direct livelihood by the J&K dispensation, which is currently under the aegis of Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha.
Yeah.
All the 20 districts in Jammu and Kashmir have been harnessed under the My Town, My Village and City Livelihood Mission programs to empower the youth. There is the Mumkin scheme to provide vehicles to 4,000 youngsters. There is the Parvaz scheme to give training to youngsters to appear for competitive exams like NEET, UPSC, G. There is also the Tejaswini scheme, where under the Agniveer scheme, not only 12,000 men, but close to 6,000 women are being trained so that they can appear for the exam and then get recruited.
There is no denying of the fact that when it comes to welfare schemes for the people, there is a lot that the government is thinking and doing on the ground as well. There is another stark reality. I agree with you that when the tricolor flies high at Lal Chowk in Srinagar, it's a moment to celebrate, because you rightly pointed out that that could not be done 30 years ago, and it has taken us a very long time to reach at this point in time. But that being said, we see the manner in which minorities are still targeted in the valley. Under the special schemes of the central government, there are various Kashmiri Pandit Hindu families which are being relocated, given livelihoods in the valley. But their security and the threat perception to them, all of those are critical issues which are yet to be addressed. So it's a long road, a long journey that the government of India must embark upon.
I completely agree with you, Anusha. That is the reason I said that while empowering the youth via job opportunities so that they don't feel the need to relocate is half the job done. At the same time, I think we need to understand that post the abrogation of Article 370, yes, there have been attacks it's a disputed theory as to whether these are just lone wolf attacks or this is a calibrated attempt by the likes of the resistance front, which is just another offshoot of Lashkar-e-Toiba. But one thing which people need to understand, that while the BJP government, while Manoj Sinha, the LG, while Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, the Home Minister, are committed to empowering the Kashmiri Pandits and giving them what they deserve. And first and foremost, it is their safety and security. Let us also take this opportunity to call out the bluff of politicians like Mehbooba Mufti and Farooq Abdullah. Each time there is a terror attack, they will say, oh, we are very sorry that Emil Bindru has been killed. But, while we offer our condolences to his family, they will never ever call out the bluff of jihadi, radicalized Islamist elements, thereby giving them intellectual cover fire.
Okay.
I call this mendacity and hypocrisy, which needs to be called out. Until the mendacious hypocrisy of opposition is not called out and they stop giving intellectual cover fire, policy making alone will not make a difference. So the opposition needs to come on board.
I also have Farooq Renzu Shah, the chairman of the Kashmiri Society, joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Shah, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you. I'm with you.
The other guest, Sanju Verma, and we have Mr. SP Ved and Ahmed Ayaz. We were talking about the moment when Tiranga could be hoisted at Lal Chowk in Srinagar. Almost after 3 decades, this moment has come when there is no curfew. And you can also see general public, ordinary Kashmiris coming forward and celebrating this moment. Not just symbolism, but it does denote an important change which is happening in the politics, in the discourse, in the posturing of Kashmir. Mr. Shah.
This is a question to me?
Yes, it's a question to you, sir.
You are giving, this question is for me?
जी सर, मेरा सवाल आपसे ही है. शाह साहब, मैं आपसे ये सवाल पूछ रही हूँ कि आप इस मोमेंट को कैसे देखते हैं? How do you see this moment when the tricolor could be unfurled at Lal Chowk in Srinagar without a curfew being imposed? Mr. Shah.
This is the moment we were always waiting for. This is the moment of not only jubilance from Republic point of view, it is the great moment of triumph of that ideology which was always crying and yearning for this moment, because there was a communist flag, and you call it a red flag, which has been created out of the conspiracy in 1947. That was a predominated Stalin's flag, and it was actually a copy-paste of the Stalin flag. And it was being introduced, and the political representatives were doctrining the people in general that this tricolor is a forbidden flag. So, but for themselves, it was good. It was halal for them. It was halal for Mahbooba Mufti ji. It was halal for Abdullah's, but it was haram for the general people of Kashmir. So this was the politics going on, which was the vote politics. In this, under this garb, there have been lakhs of the deaths from very beginning. There have been wars, and we have been divided into two in 1947. Otherwise, what came in 1947 accession? Tiranga came at that time. Who carried this Tiranga? It was Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah who carried the Tiranga. But it proved later on, it was a trap. It was a trap of trapping the India on one side, blackmailing them, and on other side, giving people a very wrong impression and creating in them that you have to be anti-Indian so that you be the good Kashmiri. Tell me why Kashmiri feels shy of holding the tricolor. Has it ever been shy of holding the tricolor? It has never. I was a deputy commissioner. I was holding it in my districts and giving the salutes, and there was a general public attending it.
And that's what Sanju Verma and others were also arguing, that the narrative when it comes to various parties in the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir was also a deeply flawed one. Mr. Ved, I'm coming to you and coming to the most substantial question. Ever since the abrogation of Article 370, the government of India has said that our long-term policy is to have Kashmir free of terror, where there is rule of law, where there is democracy, where there is greater participation of people. When it comes to the safety and security of the local people and of the national security, is there ample data to tell us that the number of instances have really come down? What is your assessment of the law and order situation post 2019?
See, the stooge of Pakistan, which was Hurriyat in the ever since I think 91, 92, since it came into formation, used to call for civil curfew, and people used to be scared of coming to these such functions. And with now today, Hurriyat is completely in this area. It has virtually no role, and I don't think it will be allowed in future also, because it was acting on behalf of foreign country, and that has actually changed this now, because vast majority of people of Kashmir wanted to celebrate like any other part of the country, and they would love to participate. Now, as far as your question of whether there is post 1919, 5th August 2019,
Yes.
what are the parameters? See, there are no stone pelting. Today, there's no separatist politics taking place. There are no bands, no hartals. You don't have burial processions when terrorists gets killed, and terrorists would come, and thousands of people will assemble, and they'll fire in the air, and then chant anti-national slogan. That thing is happening no more.
No, and you're right, that stone pelting or those kind of processions that we saw, all of that is a thing of the past. I have last 1 minute on the show. Sanju Verma, when it comes to the protection of minorities and making sure that with time the law and order situation and the militancy and the terror instances come down, what is the long-term approach that we can expect from the government of the day?
You know, that's a very nice question, Anusha. And without beating around the bush, let me just tell you that, bringing normalcy has been top of the agenda for the Modi government post abrogation of Article 370. And just by way of data to corroborate my stand, let me tell you that stone pelting incidents are down by 87.3%. And terror incidents per se are down by more than 66%. This data is there in public domain. Do we need to do more? Yes. But don't forget that, just recently, a couple of years back, the Modi government had announced a 80,000 crore development package in 2015 for the Kashmiris in both the valley and in Jammu. And more than 77% of that has been implemented. In the last 9 months, 1.64 crore tourists have visited the
Sanju,
region,
on tourism front, I can certainly tell you that I have more friends and family members visiting Kashmir now. There is a renewed interest. That's it. That's all the time I have. I thank you all for joining us on the broadcast. Thank you for your time. Once again, a very happy Republic Day to all of you. Well, indeed, when it comes to law and order and security in Jammu and Kashmir, that's a long road that the government of India has to travel. But yes, right steps have been taken. Slipping into a very short break. On the other side, the Pathan fever grips the nation.
Valor and fame.
Welcome back. There's a piece of breaking news coming in. Let's go to that. And IMF has agreed to send its mission to Pakistan from January 31st to 9th of February. Pakistan is desperately seeking a crucial installment of about $1.1 billion from the fund. This is the part of its $6 billion bailout package in order to avoid default. There are severe economic conditions which prevail in the neighboring country. Abhishek Jha with us on the broadcast. Abhishek, tell us more.
So Pakistan was in dire need of this money that is coming from IMF, and IMF had put some certain condition that before Pakistan should imply certain rules and certain steps so that its budget deficit should come down. But then again, Pakistan in domestic economic way is very much where already the inflation rate, the rate of interest are 70%, and the rate of inflation is about 24%. In foreign exchange reserve, which has about almost 3 months or 3 weeks money to buy to import stuff like fuel and the other essential commodities. So in that context, Pakistan was needing this money, and now Pakistan has also asked USA to help release that money from IMF. And with this latest tranches of money that Pakistan will now be getting, it will have some sort of breather for a few weeks before it could place its house in order, the domestic economic issues.
Absolutely. Abhishek Jha getting us all the important details on that important visit by the IMF, and this visit is going to be very critical in deciding how Pakistan gets further aid from the global body. Well, with that, it's a wrap. But before we go, a quick reminder. Starting today, we are bringing you a brand new show with Palki Sharma. At 9 p.m. on First Post, tune in at 10 p.m. every weeknight to watch Vantage, a show which brings you the world's biggest stories with a unique Indian perspective. Thanks for watching.